What is going on, everybody? Welcome into our next episode of the Bengals rebuild here. Got our offseason ahead of us. It's going to be a fun one. Going to be trying to restore our offensive line. If you can even say restore. It's been a while in Cincinnati since they had a good offensive line. But that's the primary focus. Got some other pieces on defense maybe to take a look at, but for the most part, that's our big priority. And Bengals fans will be happy to know that that's the plan here. I do want to take a look at our staff moves across the league. Ron Rivera, fired. Mike Zimmer, fired. Those not necessarily as surprising, but what is very, very ironic is a pair of former Belichick coaches are going to be changing hands. Joe Judge, Brian Flores, definitely, a couple coaches that have shown flashes, but not the biggest surprise to see either of these guys fired, especially in a world where Miami has kind of fallen off the map. So some coaching changes around the league. And now let's advance to our re-sign stage. We shouldn't have too many significant issues with our re-signing. We have cap space and not a lot of players that are sort of up right now. But let's take a look. BJ Hill is up. We might want to pay him. Darius Phillips is up. He didn't really get a lot of playing time for us. CJ Uzomah did have a nice season. I don't think this is a particularly realistic contract that he's asking for here. He'd probably be more about 3 years, about 18 mil. Maybe actually probably more close to like 30 mil, honestly, based on how he performed this year at Pro Bowl tight end. So I'm going to give him enough to make sure he signs, and then I will fix this contract to be a little more realistic. I don't know if he'd get a 4-year deal after the one breakout season, but we'll take a look at that. Everyone else here, I think, is pretty meaningless. I think BJ Hill should get a contract to stay here, and that's about right. I mean, he's a good defensive tackle. It's a good position group for us, so let's keep that a strength. And I think we'll let everyone else go. I'm gonna fix CJ Uzomah's contract here as soon as we advance past this stage. And then we can also think about trades as well in the first stage of free agency. But let's spend these staff points that we have. See, maybe take a look at the player personnel side of things. 5% trade discount on players older than 30. That might be something we want. And then I think I'm going to go this route. We can only pick one, but this will help us trade up if necessary. No, it looks like you can get them both. That's good to know. But if we are to make some trades, those two might help. Okay. They have released the third mock draft of the season. Let's take a look at how this is changing. So shaping up pretty realistically, I would say. And the Eagles have 2 top 10 picks, so they are going to project 2 quarterbacks. The mock draft system is a little broken there, but we can see kind of where the tackles are expected to go. So no surprise that Evan Neal will not be available to us barring a trade up. But the other tackles, Cooper Drescher, and they are projecting us to get Derek Theory at the 12th pick. So if we don't trade for a tackle, I do think that that's probably who we're going to be going with if he's available for us. But good to see kind of the projections to kind of see where we stand with the prospects we want. And it's also a good time to take a look at our evaluations. So Frank Frazier out of Notre Dame has gotten relatively well scouted here. He's a round 1 projection. So that's another option. Now, at some point, it should tell us these guys' true talent grades, which will be useful. Michael Johnson is climbing up for us. Our scouts like Braxton Hart. So I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of the scouting here as we go through the offseason. I actually have not done this yet, so this is kind of my first experience with the scouting overhaul, moving along with you guys. Let's go ahead to stage 1. So it does look like the combine results become available here in week 1. I don't think that gives us any more completion as far as our evaluation, but let's just see like the results for our top target here, Derek Theory. And finally get those physical grades. So pretty good 40-yard dash, good bench, good broad jump. I mean, he's really been kind of standing out to us this entire time. So I'm going to add him as a favorite for us. And then what about some of these other guys down here? Braxton Hart, it looked like our scouts really liked him. So he's not quite as impressive physically, but he is quick. He had the best 3-cone drill out of anyone, and not bad bench reps, so he could be a later round target. I know Bengals fans are taking a gasp at the thought of another Hart at tackle for them after they endured Bobby Hart for a few years. I will say center is another option for us. We've got Jacob Guerrero out of Florida State climbing up 22 spots. He's not quite as evaluated, but he is very athletic. Would fit our scheme very, very well. Just a little bit weaker. So he does kind of fit that profile of the wide zone center there. And then the guards, no true first round options, but we could certainly look at one of these two guys in the second round. So really focusing on offensive line. We will certainly be drafting other positions. We'll monitor that as we get a little closer here. But let's take a look at free agency and then consider any trades as well. There is one player that is on my mind. Devontae Adams becomes a free agent. The Green Bay Packers unable to afford him. I could actually see that happening in reality. Von Miller, same deal. Teron Armstead, Chris Godwin, a lot of good players becoming free agents here, and I actually think these are realistic players to hit. Adams with Rodgers in real life probably would be on the way out. Not going to be doing that trade, but could see that. Teron Armstead, I've talked about that in Studs and Duds this week with James Hurst playing the way he's been playing. Really all these top guys I can see hitting the market. So good to see some realistic free agents here in the first season. And that does mean we get to entertain adding some serious superstar talent. And I think this is an attractive place for some of these guys to come and play. I mean, Teron Armstead, that would be an answer instead of trading for Lane Johnson, which was something I was thinking about. But Armstead is super athletic. He fits the scheme. He's 31 years old. We can give him a mega contract in the lights of what Trent Williams received. We could give him a 6-year, $138 million contract just like this and really lock down our tackle deal. I would probably be moving Jonah Williams to right tackle because he has the experience playing that in the past. But I'm gonna really, blow out here for Teron Armstead. $22 million a year. But with the woes we've had at tackle, I think that is smart for us to do. And the fans will be very happy to know that we're making a move like that. The other option would be to add Jason Kelce, as we don't have a true center. And that would buy us time to get a long-term answer. He wants 1 year, and I wonder if he would do a 2-year deal. And let's just treat free agency. And these are two players, by the way, that I do think will be available in real life, given their team status. So I don't think these are unrealistic moves for the Bengals to really shell out all of their free agent money to the offensive line. And I'm going to start there, but I do want to take a look at our roster and see if there's any spots where we could save some money. So Samaje Perine, we could save some money if we released him. We don't really have a true power aspect behind him, so we might want to keep him. Keyshawn Johnson is on this roster off the practice squad. He is not worth that to us. We're going to have to add some receivers. We're good at that spot. We're more than good. We've got our top 3, but we're going to have to add some depth for sure. We'll keep those tight ends. So Trey Hopkins, I'm going to wait to see if we get Kelce before I release him. But if we do get Kelce, I surely will be releasing Trey Hopkins or perhaps trading him, getting something for him. Xavier Su'a-Filo definitely going to go here. and save about $3 million in cap space there. Trey Waynes is very expensive. I feel like we could do better with our cap situation here. He just hasn't really worked out for us. How many years is this, the final year of his contract? Because I really think we could do better to save this cap space. We could get a comparable cornerback. We could even try to bring him back. He has 1 year left. It's a $16 million cap hit. I think this is going to be the right move, is to release Trey Waynes and try elsewhere there. And then Brandon Wilson is a very expensive special teamer here that I have no interest in paying a special teamer that much money. So definitely cleared up some cap space there and could clear up another $6 million if we do get Kelsey. But considering those free agents were available, I don't think we need to make a trade for an offensive lineman. But let's look at other position groups. We need some receiver depth. Guys like Myers and Pascal are good fits with the kind of physical style. Myers, his run block's not quite as good as I thought it would be. James Washington would be interesting. Deontay Harris would be very interesting as kind of a playmaker type that we don't really have. But he is getting offers, and I don't think we're going to be able to afford him. Cedric Wilson's not getting any offers right now after the big year he had for Dallas. I could see a little value in trying to get him on a cheaper deal here, just under $4 million to be our fourth wide receiver. That's exactly what he was for Dallas coming into the year. If we have any injuries or anything, he can kind of play anywhere, slot, outside. He can do a little bit of everything. So I'm going to go after him. And then let's sign Isaiah McKenzie as a kind of gimmick player. He can return kicks. I'm just going to give him a 1-year deal. Hopefully he is fine with this. So we'll start there. Tight end, that reminds me I need to fix Uzama's contract to be more realistic. So we just bump it down to a 3-year deal with the money we gave him. And that's an $8 million cap hit, $28 million over 3 years. I think that's good. That's a good realistic deal for a 29-year-old tight end that had a bit of a breakout season. Kind of similar to like Logan Thomas, I think was in that ballpark for the Washington team. But we shouldn't need to sign any other tight ends, though there are options. Donald Parham hits free agency for the Chargers. They choose not to pay him. And that to me is a no-brainer. I'm going to give him a 2-year deal. He can be our tight end too. We'll hold off on the O-line to see if the guys we were going after sign with us. I like our defensive line a lot. I don't think we need to really address this at all. So we're going to stay put there. Our linebackers are pretty good as well. Pratt is now on the last year of his deal. Looks like Pratt actually went up to star development. I didn't notice that. But yeah, I don't think we need to do anything here. Von Miller would be tempting, but I think we'll stay away from that. And then cornerback, we released Trey Waynes here, but Kyle Fuller would be an excellent scheme fit. We're planning on running a lot more of that off zone coverage, a lot of quarters. So we're going to give him exactly what he wants. 1 year, $8 million. And then safety, we are going to need some depth. We can always draft depth, but we're pretty good at safety. So I'm going to wait there. So that's a good start. Let's see what we land here. Hopefully we can get these linemen. I heard an achievement. Hey, let's go. What a offseason. Man, that is GMing 101 right there. What a start for us. Heck yes. We also get some pro day results, a new mock draft. Let's hope although we don't really need a tackle now, so things have certainly changed. And they're still projecting us a tackle, but it looks like, is Derek Theory dropping? Interesting. He's 6'4", 320. He could actually play guard. We aren't totally done addressing offensive line. Our tackle situation is in great shape for a long time now, but I do think that we should continue to focus on interior offensive line and really make that a strength for us. So let's see pro day results for the O-linemen here. And perhaps are we getting more completion on any of these guys? Frank Frazier is climbing. So you actually get to double test a guy's athletic page, which is really cool. You can kind of confirm the accuracy of these, which was pretty sweet. You just get more information. So there's some tackles that could convert inside. Did Derek Theory's pro day results? He did about the same. He actually ran better. I mean, he still looks like an awesome guard. I think we're going to have a lot of options in the draft. Let's actually shift our attention, though, for the first round towards perhaps, either an awesome middle linebacker, even though we have one, but I don't know if we want to pay. Timmy Stockton looks pretty sweet. He's on the rise. Not a first-round prospect there, but could also look at edge. So Tyrone Watson here has okay pass rush moves, nothing truly special. Corner, of course, could be a big spot for us. Antoine Reese, F injury. That's interesting. Really athletic dude here. 4.32 at his pro day at 5'10". I mean, this could be a really good first round pick right there. We'll keep an eye on him. Stingley won't be there for us. Lionel Graham, decent option there as well. So we'll have options in the first round. I feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to slide Jonah Williams out to right tackle here. And I'm going to make him an internal promise that if he becomes an elite right tackle, I will hold up our end of the bargain and pay him left tackle money as in agreement with him that he's going to make this move. And then I think we might be able to get something for Trey Hopkins. He might be an upgrade to somebody out there. Let's just take a peek. Maybe a team like the Bears or the Raiders. The Raiders have a really rough center situation. They do have Nick Martin. I forgot about that. So let's see if the Bears want Trey Hopkins. And that'd be a late 5th round pick. I think that's probably decent for a starting caliber center, and they're going to take that. So that's a good deal for us. It saves some cap space. And now we can shift our attention towards really the draft at this point. We can fill out maybe some depth spots in free agency before we get out of free agency, but really good offseason so far. We do need a punter, so let's sign somebody there. Go with Bojorquez. He should be cheap. Give him a little 3-year deal, not a whole lot guaranteed. We still have standing deals on Wilson and McKenzie, so I will let those hover. No one else is going after them. And then on defense, I think we could sign a backup safety. Maybe pretty slim pickings here, actually. We want someone that's versatile. Eric Murray kind of fits our system, so we'll give him a 1 year. Not sure if those guys will take those deals or not, but we can always get them before the season starts if they don't. So let's advance. Hey, we got Murray and Bojorquez. Very nice. Okay, we can do some private workouts. Let's see how this works. So this is probably how we can get 100% completion. And I think I want to still work out Derek Theory. So we get to pick 3 players. Let's work out Antoine Reese. And let's work out let's work out that pass rusher that may be there. That'd be over here. Tyrone Watson. Let's work him out. So now, do we get that information right away? I don't think so. I think that comes to us next week. The Bears have come in on Cedric Wilson. That's fine. We'll withdraw there. And let's take another look. Keelan Cole is similar. I'm just going to bump that down. 1-year deal. We do need a backup quarterback, and I can't think of a better feel-good story than Andy Dalton to come home. He is one of the best locker room quarterbacks in the league. He knows he's a backup at this point. Let's see if he wants to come home and try and push for a championship this year. And he does. Welcome home, Andy Dalton. We also pick up Keelan Cole, very nice fourth wide receiver. And now we have a little bit more scouting to do. Mock draft 5 now has Lionel Graham sliding up. It does think Antonio Reese is going to go inside the top 10. And man, he would be pretty sweet. If we could land him, I would consider actually trading up to get a corner like that. And they do think corner is our biggest need right now. You know, we brought in Fuller. This guy's pretty good. I could be fine landing him if it came to that. But I am incredibly tempted to try and get up. Maybe with the Eagles there, they would maybe make a move. So I don't really know what happened with the private workout deal. Perhaps we're still waiting for information on that. But not a whole lot of new information for us to break down as far as the draft prospects go. So let's advance again. And we are at draft week. So we're just going to start the draft. We're going to play this thing slow. We have options. We can go interior offensive line. If that corner were to be available to us, that'd be incredible. We have a pretty strong feeling of how these first 4 picks are going to play out. We think it's going to go Thibodeau here. We think it's going to be either Evan Neal or Hamilton here. This will probably be Hamilton now, unless they take a quarterback. And then we think the Eagles will take a quarterback here. They do. They take Carson Strong. And now it gets interesting. So let's pause the draft. The Vikings are certainly a threat to take Antonio Reese. I don't think we would trade up to 5 to grab him. He's the only guy that we're like kind of desperate to draft here. Because if we end up getting either our guy Derek Theory or this young center, Jacob Guerrero, I think we'll be perfectly fine. And we could even trade down potentially for Guerrero. But the question is, do we want to trade up to get that corner? And I think if the Eagles, or if the Vikings don't take him here, we might be able to move up with the Eagles with the 8th pick and jump the Texans and Cardinals. But that's no guarantee. Okay, the Vikings go pass rusher. The Giants take Derek Stingley, who I forgot was still there. But still, that's expensive to come up that high. But let's see what the Dolphins do here. They take Desmond Ridder. So now we can try to trade up with the Eagles. 4 spots, it's manageable. And let's see what we can do. So we want pick 8, pick 12. If we give you a 3rd rounder, a mid-3rd rounder to move down 4 spots, and then a 4th rounder next year, is that pretty good? Yeah. All right. It's a good trade. And that means we are jumping the Texans. We're going to grab a little defense here Antonio Reese. We're running a scheme that doesn't care so much about press coverage. He's 5'10". What does the, let's just reread our scouting report on him one more time. Struggles to find the ball in the air, but in a zone system, I'm not as worried about that. So let's draft Antonio Reese. He has hidden development. Let's go. We don't know his overall yet either. That's new, is it not? Did they add that with the scouting? To not know their overall when you draft them? That's very cool. I wonder if that lasts into the season. So after making the trade up there, I think we advance at least into the 20s. I mean, if Guerrero is sitting there around pick 24, we might want to consider moving up. Or our tackle. The Bills take Sam Howell. Interesting pick there. Maybe they're looking to trade him or something. Malik Willis to the Panthers. Okay. We're at pick 21. And neither Guerrero or Theory out of Michigan have been drafted yet. I'd be worried about the Eagles taking him at 23. I don't think the Steelers would. Let's see. I don't often get this aggressive, but I wonder if they would do this for a second rounder next year. And obviously our second rounder this year. So they get 2 second rounders. Probably need to throw in. We could throw in the 5th rounder we got for Trey Smith as well. And they take it. Outstanding. So now we have a decision to make. Do we take Theory, who we were thinking about drafting at 12 anyway, or do we take the center? Tough decision to make here. So Theory, known to attract flags. He has A, impact block. He's a great athlete. Projected round 1 talent. He's strong as heck. First in bench reps at the combine. He would kick into guard. Or we take our Jason Kelce replacement who could play guard. In the meantime, he avoids getting flagged. He's just not, we haven't scouted him quite as much. He's still strong. He's more athletic. I think he's the better scheme fit, the better athlete, and he can actually play center long-term for Kelce, who's not a long-term answer. We only gave him a 1-year deal, so let's take Guerrero. Has hidden dev. Let's go, baby. Woo, what an offseason. Thank you, Florida State, for sending us Jacob Guerrero. Now, we definitely are not making any more trades. We are going to go to the 4th round, and at this point, we're just filling out what we can. But wow, what an offseason for the Bengals. That's one of the best off seasons we've ever had. And I'm going to look at trade offers because we've made all these picks. We can move down and pick up a 7th. Move down and pick up a 7th there. Can move down and pick up a 6th. I think we should take this deal. So we move down a good 10 spots, pick up a 6th round pick. I think that's a good move. We are navigating this draft, baby. And now let's look. Interesting. First to second round projection. Good athlete. 21 years old out of West Georgia. 5'11", 205. Probably fits our scheme. Good run after catch ability. That could potentially be a steal right there. Also have a receiver out of Bama here. Not quite the athlete. I think Steve Culver is going to be the pick here. So we don't know how good he is. But he does have, we can see the athletic ratings, 90 speed, 94 change of direction, 68 strength is good for a receiver, so totally fine with that pick. And then I think I'll round out with an athletic kind of hybrid linebacker here, Larry Dwyer. Doesn't really know if he's a pass rusher or a cover guy, but he's really athletic, so we'll gamble on the traits there and work with it. 5'11", 220. Special teamer, if nothing else. And then our final pick, I'm going to grab another receiver here, Alexander Dixon, out of West Georgia. We took his teammate earlier, so let's reunite. Not bad. 79 change of direction is not great, but he's not a bad athlete. And that is our draft. What an offseason that was. My goodness, you will take that every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And now we do get to see our full player overall. So we do take the 2 West Georgia kids. The second guy is actually a little bit better, but not long term, I don't think. We've got a better run after catch threat here, better scheme fit, better run blocker, which is important for our scheme. So there's our receivers we took. Our center that we drafted is a 67, but the athletic traits, very good. The lead block and impact block is surprisingly low there. But he's going to kick out to guard for now. He's going to play left guard for us. Jackson Carmen's at right guard. Goes up to a 68 there. So line shaping up. And then we drafted a linebacker here, Larry Dwyer. So he has an interesting skill set here. Pretty good, though. He just needs to understand coverage a little bit better. But we'll keep him there. And then our corner, 77 overall. He has 95 speed, 96 change of direction. Wow. I think we're going to have to start him. And perhaps a rotation of Kyle Fuller and Mike Hilton. But what a pick that is, Antonio Reese. And then I'm going to move... Looks like our team picked up J.R. Reed here. I'm going to move him to free safety. Good prospect coming out of Georgia. I don't mind him as a fourth safety, honestly. It's a good pickup. Got our kicker, our punter. Man, the expectations for this team are going to be off the charts. So let's advance to preseason week 1. I will wrap up by taking a look at any free agent signings we need to make, and then be on our way. Gonna add Jawara Cook. Goes undrafted, 21 years old, out of Georgia, but 90 speed at 234 pounds with 82 trucking, 81 stiff arm. This could be a free agent steal. We've seen these at the running back position. We're gonna add him. We're gonna add Dudley Hawkins, an athletic small school receiver. Joey Creighton out of Penn State. It's gonna be an undrafted O-line pickup there, and we're actually running very low on cap space here. But I'm gonna add Ahmad Ellington, 77 finesse moves out of Purdue. Some of these guys might be making this roster here. Mitch Dillon, 21 years old, has 90 acceleration and some decent strength and length. So we're gonna add him, practice squad option. And then just one more here, Richard Wagner. I'm actually going to be moving him to safety. He's 6'2", 210. Coverage needs a little bit of work. The press coverage is probably never going to get there, but really a good safety fit in our system. So we're going to add him, and that's going to wrap up actually a really exciting group of free agent, undrafted free agents. So what an offseason that was. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you're enjoying the Bengals rebuild. Super excited for this team this season, man. High expectations, surely Super Bowl expectations. So that'll be the next episode. We'll kick off the season, make our cuts and all that stuff. But please do hit that like button if you're enjoying the series. And we'll see you later. Peace out.